farming in the Philippines. So Lance has asked several times if I would do a demonstration on the Three Sisters method of planting.
Three Sisters?
It's very common practice amongst some Native American tribes, the ones that actually engaged in farming. Somehow they came, who knows how farmers figure things out, but they did figure it out. So they call it the Three Sisters because it was generally 3 different crops that they planted together. And sometimes it was 4 sisters, but I don't know if we have seeds for the 4th sister. So what it is, it was ingenious. What they came up with and their method, and the benefits from their method. So what we're going to do here is
I want you to yeah.
In a circle about this big, we're going to plant however many corn seeds, maybe a little bit bigger circle.
Bigger, oy.
However many corn seeds we can fit in this circle. All right?
And then another one.
Well, and then we're going to wait. We're going to wait for the corn to come up, and
plant another one.
And then we're going to plant beans right in here in a circle outside the corn. All right? And then in a larger circle outside of that, we're going to plant squash. Okay?
What kind of squash?
Well, we're going to use those pumpkins because that's what we have.
It will buy.
Pumpkins or squash. We just call them pumpkins. So the premise behind this is that the corn in the center will grow tall, yes? The beans that are planted around the corn, the runners from the beans, it eliminates the need for a trellis. The runners from the beans will attach to the corn stalks and they'll climb the corn.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then the squash that is planted on the outside, like this, will just go everywhere. And they have really broad leaves on them, squash plants. They're big leaves.
Yeah.
And so they provide shade. They shade everything in this area at ground level. Up off the ground about this far. And so that helps with moisture retention. It helps keep the soil moist. It keeps it from just baking in the sun, right? And the fourth sister, if we had some seeds, would be a sunflower or 2 planted right in the center. And the sunflower attracts bees.
We have sunflower, they're already growing.
Already growing? Well,
yeah. We can put one there, one there, one there.
I don't know how well they transplant.
So it's very easy, oy.
But will they put up with being transplanted? That's the question.
Yeah, of course, sunflower.
Right, well, sure, we can do that then. If you want to put a sunflower in the center of the corn, then we can do that. So that's the 3 sisters, 4 sisters is what we're going to do. The benefits, corn is what they call a heavy nitrogen feeder. It requires lots of nitrogen to produce well. And one of the reasons that I'm doing it in this area is this is where we put all the mud from the fish tanks. So this is already a high nitrogen area from that mud. So we won't need to add much fertilizer the first time around. The reason that this method works, and it worked so well for the Native American tribes that did it, is that the beans fix nitrogen in the soil. The roots, when they decay, you leave some of the beans and you just leave them. And they add nitrogen to the soil, which replaces the nitrogen that the corn has pulled from it. And the squash just provide the ground cover. The beans and the corn are the main. They're the ones that interact, and the squash just helps everything, and the sunflower acts as a pollinator. So we're going to plant the corn today, on just the corn, Wait for it to come up and let it get about as big as that.
Yeah, the dogs is
And-
running in there. That's why. Oh.
Yeah, that's why I've been throwing rocks at them. Let it get up, 4, 5, 6 inches tall like this corn here, and then we'll plant the beans. 'Cause
Okay.
you want to let the corn get a little bit of a head start because it's going to be used as a trellis. And before it should be 3 or 4 feet tall before
They give me my
it starts to be utilized as a trellis. So
and then my tools.
your tools. So the lovely Marcel, here, give me the camera though.
Don't.
So the lovely Marcel is going to do the planting here.
Really make it round?
Well, it doesn't have to be perfect, love.
I want perfect.
Okay, you want perfect?
Yeah.
All right, here's your seeds.
Like that only?
A little bit bigger.
Little
A little bit bigger of a circle. And plant the corn about 4 inches apart. Which is actually pretty, that's actually planting it pretty thick, but it's serving a purpose, not just as a corn crop.
Like that.
Yeah, like that. Like this, like that.
Yeah, like that.
Like that.
Like this. That's fine?
That's fine.
Okay.
And so we will give you updates as we go along. We'll do another video when we plant the beans. Probably put the beans and the squash in at the same time.
Yeah.
And Marcel says we have sunflower. I didn't know we had sunflower up
The
and
one
ready
that
to
I
go.
planted, but the marigold did not grow.
The marigolds did not grow.
How
Every 4 inches, love.
like that?
A little bit, no, the other way. Yeah, like that. That's good.
Very easy.
Very easy. And this is just beneficial. I mean, it keeps your soil from being depleted. And who doesn't like rice or who doesn't like corn and beans, rice? Corn and beans. I just got rice on my mind. It must be something to do with where I'm living. Who doesn't like corn and beans? So how many do we get? How many is in there?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13.
13. All right.
Cover.
Cover. And so I've made 3 of these mounds, pre-worked the soil a little bit. And we're going to go from there. So we'll keep you guys apprised how things do.
Okay, you killed the worm.
I'm sorry, little worm. Marcel's nemesis, worms. So what do you think, love? What do you think of the Three Sisters method so far?
I don't know.
You don't know? So far?
It's like a good idea, but
It makes sense, but you've never seen it work before?
yeah, makes sense. But it's like just it's like a landscape.
You think it's more like landscape?
Yeah.
All right. Only got 10 in that one?
11.
11 must be a little bit smaller circle.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do moving forward is, look, I like having corn. I like having corn all the time. I can eat corn on the cob 2 or 3 times a week, and fresher is better than frozen. Frozen if that's all you've got, but fresher is mo better. So I got these seeds here. Even though they were 200 pesos, they're 10 times cheaper than just buying corn in little packets. What Arvin did is he took a big pouch of corn and just broke it down into little packs like that. Arvil's he's the feed store guy that we often go to. It increases his margin. He can actually make something on the seeds that he sells, and it turns out that it's much cheaper for us as well. So everybody wins. Anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to wait about another 2 weeks, and then I'm going to plant this area in corn. And I'm going to wait another month after we plant this area, and I'm going to plant some more corn somewhere else, maybe over in that corner over there, and just keep planting corn every month so that we have corn coming on every month.
This one is 14.
14 in that one?
Yeah, I think the soil here is good because there's a lot of worm on.
Yeah. This is, you know, it's been a struggle getting this soil to to be soil rather than just clay. But we've worked at it for going on 4 years now, and so this is actually, it's actually pretty good soil now. So we're hopeful for the best. So what else are you going to plant there, Lub Lub?
This one.
This one?
Where I'm going to plant this tree?
Well, that's your ginger. I would have planted it in the raised bed, but
I want here because every time I will use it.
It's close by, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would plant it somewhere where the soil is very good and very loose already, and that would be like right here.
Here?
Yeah.
What about the... Here only.
Okay. You can see how Marcel's working that it's pretty good soil now. And those of you who were around in the beginning 3 years ago, it took dynamite to dig this soil. Even just last year, when I was digging through it, I had to use the bar to make headway. You have to go a lot deeper than that, love.
I know.
Just so you know.
We're just going to...
Here, you want me to use the hoe?
No.
You need to go at least as deep as you can go with your little tool there.
Oh, this one.
Oh.
It's already deep.
Already dip.
Yeah. Very deep.
So you like ginger?
Yeah.
Ginger?
Ginger with my tinola.
Oh my God.
With my raw fish.
So you must have ginger?
Yeah, ginger. I am ginger.
Do you remember if the cucumbers ever got planted in these last two?
No.
Okay, so I want to plant some more cucumbers here. So you want me to make the trenches? All right. All right, well, I've made a couple little trenches here for cucumbers. So we're going to plant some additional cucumbers in there. I didn't ask Marcel if she'd planted any in playa. But anyway, this is a potato that we've kept around. It was just one that we bought to eat, but it never got eaten. People were saying, well, you should have cut them potatoes up and planted more. The potatoes that we planted down in the raised bed, let me give you an example here, and the reason why we didn't cut them up. You can see the difference in the size between these potatoes. Yeah, that's why we didn't cut the small ones up.
Yeah,
but this one
is very tiny.
Yeah, this one is a big potato.
There's a grown there already.
Yep. So we are going to cut this one up. And I would like to be able to get 2 eyes on each section, but if we can only get 1 eye, then that's...
Plant that here?
Yeah, just right where you're standing. So try to cut it, love, to where at least one group of these eyes is in the ground.
How many do you think?
I think at least 4.
Like that?
Yeah. You know, we're not going to do it, but it's good practice to, I didn't know Marcel wanted to plant this today. It's good practice to when you cut your potatoes, get out of here.
Make it dry first?
Yeah, it's good practice to let them dry for at least 24 hours, 48 hours is better.
Yeah, I can make this dry.
You don't want to make it dry?
Oh, I can
All right.
put this here.
Yeah, it's better, love, because just putting them in the ground when you cut them, they could rot. If you wait 48 hours, it...
Oh, I have 5.
Okay. Oi, oi. If you wait 48 hours, it makes a little scar on it. It dries that outside,
Yeah.
and it keeps fungus from getting into it. And starting out fungus free is better than having fungus in your potatoes. And the fungus will just make them rot, and you'll just lose the whole thing. Did you ever plant any in playa over here?
No.
Thank God.
I don't have seeds.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
So we're going to end up with, it looks like 5 rows of cucumbers here, and that doesn't hurt my feelings at all. So we'll at least have enough in these 5 rows here for plenty of personal consumption, and I can actually make some pickles. Many people have, Dave was kind enough to leave a recipe and a comment, which I pinned. I have looked online for some recipes, some no cook, no can recipes, the refrigerator pickles they're called. I'm gonna look. You're not gonna find canning jars here anywhere, and I haven't even checked to see if I could get them online. Canning is not a common practice here. Canning is common in the West because you actually have growing seasons. You have times of the year when produce that you might want to eat will absolutely not grow. And it can be anything. You can can anything. And by canning, I mean, for those of you who don't know about canning, it's preserving. You're preserving something in a jar for use off season. Here in the Philippines, the only restriction you have is rainfall. That's really the only season you have. They don't commonly plant things that require a lot of water in the dry season. Other than that, there's never a time when you can't grow something here. So canning is not a common practice.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to. You can grow anything anytime, as long as you've got water.
Yeah. Even it's
Yeah, as long as you've got water, that's the only criteria.
Yeah.
So preserving things, canning things, never caught on here.
We will do canning.
Yeah, you do canning for what?
Dried fish, ginamos. Not the vegetable.
Ginamos, yeah, but that's not that's not canning. You're storing it in a jar, but that's not that's not canning. No. Canning, preserving involves a special kind of jar. You boil it. It's sealed. It's a whole different thing than just putting some fermented fish in a tanduay bottle and putting a cap on it. It's a whole different thing. So
that's why I don't know how to do that.
It's not available here, the jars. So I'm not gonna. That's why I don't want pickles that have to be canned. That's why I was looking for a refrigerator only recipe. Not enough seeds?
Can you get that?
What happened? What did you do?
Nothing.
Did you use like half of these seeds?
No, not yet.
Not yet? So anyway, so today we got the corn for the Three Sisters method planted. We got some ginger planted. We prepped some potato. And
the potato you planted there in your raised bed is growing already.
the raised bed, I haven't even gone down to check.
It's already, I checked it.
Been dang old busy.
When I checked it when the buong Americano asked me to call tatay.
What's that? Huh? What's that?
Nothing.
Hmm?
Oh no, daddy.
Huh?
Hawa, daddy. Hawa, daddy. Hawa.
Buong Americano.
Sige dong. Bong dong. No, daddy.
So, We'll plant those potatoes right in here where Marcel is standing in a couple days.
Maybe we still have a lot of.
We still have a lot of seeds. Yeah, I don't know where we're going to plant those. We'll find a spot somewhere. We've taken all our trellises down now.
Tiger!
What we could do, love, instead of squash, is we could plant cucumbers in one of these instead of squash. Yeah, why not?
I like squash also.
I mean, I don't think the corn would support cucumber
Beans.
stalks.
You want beans?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure out another place to plant the rest of those cucumbers. Maybe we'll make another row of trellis down there or something. I don't know. All right, we're done here. Thank you, everyone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe.